Alright, how's my hair? My hair looks alright. Okay. Fix this. Oh my gosh. Hi. So we haven't done a video in a while, and this video is going to be how to properly stack a St. Bernard. I've asked a couple people to do it so we could have different handlers. We just haven't been able to line up a good time. So Sandy, who is completely naked, is going to help me demonstrate how to stack a St. Bernard properly and little tricks that'll help move them. So I'm tired of bending over like this, so let's just do it. Our first video that we did was making sure the collar was up around the neck, and that's the first thing I'm going to do with her when I turn around to get her set up. So I'll just back up and let's do it. Come on, Teen. Here. First thing I do, it depends on the dog, so I get their attention. I got to back up some so you can see all 4 feet. So I'll talk a little louder. So I try to get them in somewhat of a position. And then I'm going to grab underneath her chin like we talked about in the video about where to place the collar. And I'm going to put the collar up under her neck. First thing, most important thing with the dog in the ring, I believe, and all this is subjective, this is just me suggesting what to do, is making sure that you have your dog's head at least somewhat up. She's used to holding it up, and that's because I've trained her that way. So that's the most important thing, is making sure that the head's up. The next thing is I like to try to walk them into as close of a stack as possible. So I'm going to turn her around and pretend that I'm getting ready to stack her up to show how I try to walk her into a stack to give me less work. So I'm going to walk her right up into a stack the best that I can right now. And then I'm going to reach under and grab her where we talked before about where we have control. Make sure the lead's under the neck. And with her, all dogs are different. With her, I'm going to start with her left front foot. I'm going to pick it up at the elbow, and I'm using my forearm, pushing on her body as I pick it up. That way I don't have to put all the weight on one area. It kind of helps use those pressure points and weight disparity, so I'm not killing my back. So I use my forearm to push her body away, so I'm barely having to lift her leg. The next thing is I'm going to place her foot properly. A proper foot placement on the St. Bernard is going to be straight up and down. You want to show the dog's shoulder. If you have the dog's feet out like this, that's called posting. It's when they're pushing back. So we want to pull it underneath her to show that she has a chest. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make sure I keep the head up still, because I don't know when the judge is looking at me. And then I'm going to come over and I'm going to fix her right foot. She's used to it, so she's already picking it up for me. But I use my left knee, push it into her body. I use my left knee, push it into her body to help again with that weight. And then set the weight back down on that right foot, keeping her head up the entire time. When I go to stack the rear, I keep the head up, keep the collar up under her neck. I usually touch my dog on the way back to the rear so they know what you're about to do. And you're going to pick it up right underneath her knee. Same thing with the other side. Pick it up under the knee, and then shift her weight. The goal with the back feet is get those hocks straight up and down, and I'll show front and back knees. So I believe that I have my dog stacked up somewhat properly. That's when I take the bait. She moved her foot, so I wait. I fix it. I put the collar underneath the neck again. And then I do the bait. Then I stand up nice and tall so I'm not like hunched over and giving a bad illusion. I'm standing up nice and tall. So since she does that pretty well, because she's just been shown for a while, I'm going to show how to stack the front. Pretty much, most dogs, they at least stop it a little bit of, turn out a little bit. Easty-westy is what we call it. If it's a younger dog, it's more prominent. She still does it a little bit, so I'm going to show you how to fix it. Now, come on. Here. Come on. I'm going to come up a little closer, right about there. And Kenny's walking over, so if Kenny jumps in, I don't think he's going to offer too much help. So, and here he comes. Kenny, why do you have to ruin everything? Kenny, get out. Go on. Here. I just threw a piece of bait. Alright, here we go. So, Sandy here. So I'm going to stack her front. But that's a little extreme what she's doing, but it's a good example. So I clear the neck, and I want to fix this before the judge comes over. So again, I'm using my forearm to push her body, to stack the left leg, and then I'm using my knee to push her body and stack the right leg. Clearing the neck again. And if the judge is coming up already, I want them to see her head. I don't want to be fussing around back here when she's dropping her head and stuff. I want to have a good presence about her. If they're still off to the side looking, that's when you can go back and stack the rear. Here. So same thing with the rear. Here. I want to get back enough so you can see. There's Kenny again. Kenny. Okay, same thing with the rear. So if the judge is walking back and they want to look at the rear, I'm not so much worried about the front right now because I want to fix what they're about to look at. Here. Okay. So say the front's already fixed. I'm going to reach back and I'm going to stack her rear. Make sure the hocks are straight up and down. And the other thing is, will you help me out here? Hey, quit. The other thing is making sure that you don't stack her too wide or too close because that can affect her top line. Weight disparity, if she's leaning one way, I kind of push on her body some. Here. And then I get the bait out while the judge is looking at the rear. If they're coming down and she moved, you should fix it. Kenny. Free stacking. Kristen did a great video on free stacking. I do the free stack, but when the judge comes up to look at the front of the dog, I fix it. I fix her up, and I don't just leave her stand here like this. Because to me, her front's a little bit close right now. I want to fix her feet placement. I want to make sure she looks the best when they come up to do that final look at her. So if I do a free stack with her and I'm here, and the judge is coming up, like Kenny's the judge right now, we'll pretend Kenny's the judge. Here. The judge is coming up. I want her to step up some. I'm going to tell her to stay. I'm not giving her any food because I want to fix it. And then I cleaned her neck just now. And I'm fixing her front. Here. And then I'm showing her off to the judge. No, her rear isn't fixed yet. But right now he's just looking at her front. If they start to go down and they're looking at the rear, maybe I'll give her a piece of food. And then I'm going to come back and fix it. Here. Then if they're still looking at the dog, that's when I'll stand here and stand up straight and go ahead and use the bait. So I can't really think of another way to explain how to stack the dog. There's little tricks you can do if you're having trouble with yours making him stand still. It's just consistency. Not every dog does food. I have a lot of St. Bernards that I show for people that don't even want to entertain with food. So I don't even bother. So with that, what I do is when I have them with the collar cleared under their neck. Here, come here. Kenny's in the way. Kenny, get. So I will grab them under their cheekbone here just to have a little more control when I'm stacking them sometimes. It just depends on what your preference is. Then I'll grab the collar when I stack that right leg. Then I clean the neck again, and then if it's a dog that doesn't bait, I make sure I have the head up, and I'm making sure that the ears are forward. Here. But naturally for her, she's going to put her ears forward because that's just how she was trained. But not all dogs do that, and that's okay. So I just make sure I have that head up and make sure her ears are forward. Since we're here and we're nice and up and close, showing the bite, there's different ways that people do it. The best way that I found that's the easiest for me and the judge is when they come up, when they come up to the dog and they say, let me see the teeth, Sandy, here. There's people do it many different ways. The best way I found is taking your pinky, putting your pinky under the collar, under her neck. Here. Waiting for that truck to go by. So I put my pinky under the collar and I'm holding her bottom of her chin so I have control. When I go to show the bite, I don't need to see the bite. I know what the bite looks like. A lot of people want to look at the bite too. The judge just needs to see it. You know what it looks like, so kind of lean back so the judge can get their head down there. Here. So the pinky under the collar, I've got control of her chin, and then I just lift it up, just like that. Okay? Sometimes I see people going like this. That's not comfortable for the dog. So put your pinky under the collar. Do it just like that. If you have trouble, or the dog is fussy, and you can't get both the top lip up and the bottom lip down, sometimes the judge will help you. So the best place to start is at least lifting the front up, and they might come and they might just pull the chin down so their fingers aren't in your dog's mouth, since that's what they prefer. So the pinky under the collar, lift the front up first, and if you can, with the dog not fussing too much, then just pull the bottom part down with your tongue. And then that's when you would either take the bait and give them the bait back, here. Or if they're not baiting, after you show the bite, you're clearing that neck again and you're holding their head straight forward. These are for dogs that are pretty behaved. So I'm going to do another video on a dog that I haven't done any training with yet. So you can see where the beginning phases start. So I encourage everyone to do some videos and post them here. If anybody has any other suggestions about what we can do to help each other present the breed better, but this guy, he's not helping me. So I will see you guys later.